No identification on you or nothing at all.
I have, but don't wish to produce it.
Right. Go on then, mate. You can come take a walk with me then.
Welcome to the Audit Assessor. Over here we break down encounters between the public and the police. We examine the law, the conduct and the context so you know your rights, their responsibilities and where the line is drawn. Thanks to Potter's videos for letting us cover and break down this police audit. Make sure to subscribe to his channel and like his videos. His link is in the description below. Potter's videos is recording inside Ipswich railway station when a few complaints from passers-by quickly turn a normal situation into something much bigger than it needed to be. Instead of checking whether anything improper was actually happening, officers arrive and lean heavily on what they've been told, treating the presence of a camera as enough to escalate things. What follows is an interaction where assumptions seem to carry more weight than facts. The tone sharpens unnecessarily, and the situation begins to drift toward an outcome that feels far heavier than the circumstances ever justified.
This encounter doesn't ease in.
The tone sharpens unnecessarily, and
within seconds, an officer moves straight to control, demanding the camera be switched off. No explanation, no attempt to understand the situation.
Turn it off, thank you.
Okay, there's an incident going on, yeah, okay.
But the man behind the
You've got no right to be filming the lady.
I have got a right to film anything anyone in a public place.
Right, you need to turn it off straight away.
No, I don't need to turn it off, but I'm on private property.
Because now,
yes, it's the
this is no
station,
longer
isn't it?
about
Okay, fine. I'll go somewhere public. Then
The
so we
officer
have a chance.
Yeah, come over here and talk.
Leaning on a
The
familiar
location
phrase,
you're filming at,
current climate.
right, in the
sounds
current
serious.
climate that we live in,
It sounds
right, a lot of people
but
have
beneath
expressed
it,
concerns.
there's a noticeable
The fact that you're
absence
filming
of
this area,
a clear legal
right?
foundation.
Okay.
Instead of
Now, members of the
pointing
public
to
have
a
spoken to us, at
specific
least three as
offence,
have come
the
through,
justification
concerned that you're
rests
filming the
on
train
the
station. Obviously, in the
People
current
are
climate that we live in,
concerned.
unfortunately, at the
People
moment,
feel
a lot of people get
uneasy.
worried about
And
things
that's
like
the
that.
moment tension
Details, mate,
begins.
alright?
I'm not obliged to tell you
Yes,
that.
you are. Because
Under what
asking
law?
the one
under
question
Section
that
50 of the
changes
Antisocial and
Under
Police
what
Reform
law?
Act, yeah?
It's a simple
Members of the
challenge,
public have come up
but
to
it
us,
forces the
expressed
officer
concerns
to
about you acting in
And
an
that's when
antisocial
Section
manner
50
while you're filming the
enters
train
into
station, yeah? It's got
Now
people
stakes
Well,
worried.
I'm not willing to give
Because
any
Section
Okay,
details.
under
50
Section 50 of the
is
Police Reform Act, then you can end up getting arrested for that.
Suspicion
Rather
Could you
than
act-
called then.
Right, because you're
Not
acting in an
just
antisocial...
vague
Mate, all I need to
concern,
do, yeah,
not just
and you
someone
can
holding
understand
camera.
this,
Yeah.
Yet
yeah,
here
in the
it's being
current climate,
introduced
just get your name and address and
almost
I'll be
as
happy with that.
leverage, not
Right from the
conclusion.
start, they try to
We're
shut the
watching
camera
is the
down,
opening
which is telling
move
because
of a
there's no
much
general
larger
power
conflict.
that allows officers
On one
to demand
side,
filming
a
stops in
man
a public
standing on
place.
his understanding
Asking for
of the
that
law.
straight away
On the
suggests
other,
control rather
officers
than any
attempting
real
to assert
concern.
control
Falling back
based on
the
perception.
usual current
And right
climate
here,
doesn't help
in
either,
this first
because vague
exchange,
security
the
worries
tone is
aren't
set.
lawful grounds,
This isn't
and
going to
using them
de-escalate.
this early
It's going to
shows they're
escalate
leaning on
fast.
assumptions.
Oh, mate, do you want to turn that off for us?
No, don't turn it off, thank you.
Right, okay, there's an incident going on, yeah, okay, alright.
Yeah.
You've got no right to be filming the lady.
I have got a right to film anything anyone in a public place.
Right, you need to turn it off straight away,
No, I
please.
don't need to turn it off, but I'm on private property.
Mate, yes, it's the station, isn't it?
Oh,
Right,
okay, fine. I'll
Right,
go somewhere public then so we can have a
Right,
chance.
yeah, come over here and talk to me, mate. The location you're filming at, right, in the current climate that we live in, right, a lot of people have expressed concerns. The fact is you're filming this area.
Okay.
Right, okay. Now, members of the public have spoken to us, at least three as have come through, concerned that you're filming the train station. Obviously, in the current climate that we live in, unfortunately, at the moment, a lot of people get worried about things like that. Details, mate, alright?
Am I obliged to tell you
Yes,
then?
you are. Because
Under what law?
under Section 50 of the Antisocial and Police Reform Act, yeah, members of the public have come up to us, expressed concerns about you acting in an antisocial manner, i.e. filming the train station, yeah? It's got people worried.
Well, I'm not willing to give any details.
Okay, under Section 50 of the Police Reform Act, then you can end up getting arrested for that. Police
The
Reform
officers
Act,
aren't
yeah?
backing off.
Members of the public have
Instead,
come
they
up to
double
us,
down.
expressed
The
concerns
same
about
demand
you
is
acting in an
repeated
antisocial manner,
again and
i.e.
again
filming the train station, yeah? It's got people worried.
Well, I'm not willing to give
But now
any
there's
details.
something
Okay,
hiding
under Section
behind
50 of the Police Reform Act, then you can end up getting arrested for that.
Then increasing
Rather
you
than called then.
the word
Right, because you're acting in an
arrest
antisocial...
starts
Mate,
to
all I
enter
need to
the
do,
conversation.
yeah, and you can
Not as a
understand
last
this,
resort,
Yes.
yeah, in the
but as
current
a
climate,
limited
just get your name and address and
And
I'll
the
be happy
man
with
behind
that.
the camera,
Right from the
he doesn't
start,
move.
they try to shut the
He
camera
refuses
down,
calmly,
which is telling because there's no
consistently,
general power
and
that
without
allows
aggression.
officers to demand
But that
filming
refusal
stops in a
is
public
doing
place.
something
Asking for that
powerful.
straight away
It's
suggests
exposing the
control
gap
rather than
between
any real
authority
concern.
and justification.
Falling back on the
The
usual
officers
current
lean
climate
heavily
doesn't help
on
either,
public
because
complaints.
vague security
People
worries aren't
feel
lawful
distressed.
grounds, and using
People
them
reported
this
you.
early
But
shows they're
here's where the
leaning on
tension
assumptions instead of
sharpens,
facts.
because
When
discomfort
Section
alone
50 of the
doesn't
Police Reform Act
automatically
is mentioned,
equal
it
antisocial
requires
behavior.
reasonable suspicion
That
of
leap
antisocial
is
behavior
never
causing
properly
harassment,
explained.
alarm,
It's
or
just
distress.
assumed,
And
and
simply
assumptions
filming
are
in a public railway
dangerous.
station
The
doesn't
cameraman
meet that
challenges
threshold.
it directly.
Stretching it like this
He questions
turns
the
it into
logic.
a tool for
He questions the
compliance.
law.
Then,
And most
threatening
importantly,
arrest if he doesn't
he
give
refuses
details
to
only
comply
underlines the
simply
weakness
because
of the
he's being
position,
told
because if the
to.
grounds were solid,
Now the dynamic
pressure wouldn't
shifts
be
again.
needed.
This
You
is no
are
longer just an
threatening to arrest
interaction.
me for filming if I don't give me details.
The officers
yeah,
begin
it can be
to
deemed you're acting
reframe
antisocial. We've had lots of members of the public come up
suggesting that
and
refusal
complain
itself
that you're filming the train station, all right?
You are
not
doing
cooperating.
court then, you have to arrest me.
Mate, don't be silly. It's
But
not even worth getting that. All I need is your name and address, and that'll be it, mate.
Okay, I'm not going into the details.
That's
We'll
exactly
warn you,
what's
if you
being
do arrest me, that will be unlawful.
Every second
It won't be
that
unlawful, will it?
But I'll sue you, and you
Because
can
neither
argue that
side
your
is
case in
backing
court,
up.
that's fine.
One
So you've got
is relying
no
on
identification on you or nothing at all.
the other is
I
standing on
have, but don't
principle.
wish to produce
And when
it.
those two
Right.
collide without
Mate, you
resolution,
come take a walk with
there's
me then.
only one
I'm
direction.
going to be giving my
Court
name and address
escalation.
because I know that if I could, this could not argue that in court then.
Right, because you're acting and mate, all I need to do, yeah, and you can understand this,
Yes.
yeah, in the current climate leave, just get your name and address, and I'll be happy with that.
Right from the start, they try to shut the camera down, which is telling because there's no general power that allows officers to demand filming stops in a public place. Asking for that straight away suggests control rather than any real concern. Falling back on the usual current climate doesn't help either, because vague security worries aren't lawful grounds, and using them this early shows they're leaning on assumptions instead of facts. When Section 50 of the Police Reform Act is mentioned, it requires reasonable suspicion of antisocial behaviour causing harassment, alarm or distress, and simply filming in a public railway station doesn't meet that threshold. Stretching it like this turns it into a tool for compliance. Then, threatening arrest if he doesn't give details only underlines the weakness of the position, because if the grounds were solid, pressure wouldn't be needed.
You are threatening to arrest me for filming if I don't give me details.
Because, yeah, it can be deemed you're acting antisocial. We've had lots of members of the public come up and complain that you're filming the train station, all right?
You are doing court then, you have to arrest me.
Mate, don't be silly. It's not even worth getting that. All I need is your name and address, and that'll be it, mate.
Okay, I'm not going into the details. We'll warn you, if you do arrest me, that will be unlawful.
It won't be unlawful, will it?
But I'll sue you, and you can argue that your case in court, that's fine.
So you've got no identification on you or nothing at all?
I have, but don't wish to produce it.
Right. Go on then, mate. You can come take a walk with me then.
I'm going to be giving my name and address because I know that if I could not live with myself, I did give you that information.
Why? What's
no
the problem?
comments. Because I know the law, and I know what I'm doing is not antisocial behaviour. I know it's lawful videography.
Mate,
You might not
the-
deem it
the
antisocial,
target
but if
you-
other people feel that what you're doing is causing them some level of distress, that's antisocial, isn't it?
No, it's not. It's
Okay.
just a video.
Yeah, but if they feel that what you're doing is causing them some level of distress, they've obviously caused it enough of an issue for them to come and speak to us and ask us to come and have a word with you.
Relying on complaints alone doesn't automatically turn lawful behaviour into antisocial conduct, especially when the only concern being reported is someone holding a camera. For behaviour to meet the threshold, it has to involve harassment, alarm or distress caused by actions that are actually directed at others, not simply existing in a public space. Treating general discomfort as antisocial behaviour lowers that bar to the point where almost anything could be challenged, which isn't what the legislation was designed for. When Potter declines to provide identification, that in itself isn't an offence either, and it doesn't create new grounds out of nowhere. Refusing to cooperate isn't the same as acting unlawfully. Moving straight to physical contact after that only makes the situation worse.
Which they're perfectly entitled to do because this is a free country. But what you're not entitled to do is demand details under threat of arrest.
I mean, it's not under a threat of arrest. We're saying that there is a law that requires you to provide us with your details if you've been behaving in an antisocial manner.
Which you haven't been, so you'll have to arrest me and I'll argue
That's your
it
interpretation.
at court.
Other people have deemed that you've been acting in an
I'll have to
antisocial
agree
way.
to disagree.
You've also been asking people to move out your way so you can continue videoing. You're giving no reason as to why you're videoing, which just raises our concerns that there's something going on.
Well, I haven't asked anyone to move out of my way.
Well, members of the public came and told us that you did.
What?
You've been behaving in an antisocial manner.
Which you haven't been, so you'll have to
Physical
arrest me and
But
I'll
that's
argue
your
it
interpretation.
at court.
Other people have deemed that you've been acting in an
I'll have to
antisocial
agree
way.
to disagree.
You've also been asking people to move out your way so you can continue videoing. You're giving no reason as to why you're videoing, which just raises our concerns that there's something going on.
It's about
Well, I haven't asked
justification.
anyone to move out of
The
my way.
cameraman calls
Well,
out
members of the public came and told us that you did.
labeling it as
Well, even if I
assault.
did,
And
I
whether you
did
agree
not
or
like
not,
I swore
the
them.
key
Wasn't
issue
effing and
isn't how
jeffing,
small
so
I didn't say that at all.
It's not
What I'm
antisocial.
saying-
Exactly.
What I'm saying is
Up to
it's
this
the
point,
person's
there's been no
interpretation of what's
aggression.
going on, isn't it?
Am I having
You
on
may
video?
think-
I didn't
no
even ask
clear
them to
unlawful.
move.
What you may deem as antisocial
yet,
may be
the
very
situation
different to what someone else
continues
deems
to
as antisocial.
That may be,
Then comes another
that may
turning
be
point.
well very
The
different to
officer
court being
asks a question
antisocial.
that
So I'd
reveals
like
everything.
Yeah?
you
Well,
to carry
have our
out,
permission to
your
film?
colleagues to sides carry
just
his
like
threats,
that, the
unlawfully arrest me in our argument in court.
Using the threat
because
of
in a
arrest
public
to push
setting,
someone into
permission
accepting a legal
isn't the
position
standard.
is a red flag because
Legality
arrest
is.
powers have to be
And
based
those
on
two are
defined
not the
grounds,
same.
not used
From
as
here,
leverage to
the
settle a
path
disagreement.
is set.
Dismissing
The
Potter's
officers
understanding
return
while
to
leaning on
Section
how members
50.
of the public felt
This
only
time, with
weakens
more
their position
certainty,
further because
more
antisocial
insistence,
behaviour
and less
isn't measured by
patience.
opinion.
The
When one officer
justification
then claims Potter
shifts
told people to
slightly,
move without
now
checking
focusing
the
on
footage
claims that
could
he was
confirm
filming
or disprove it,
individuals
they're
directly.
effectively choosing
But
hearsay
again,
over evidence,
it's built on
which is the
reports,
opposite of
not
proper
verified
investigation.
evidence.
Carry out our job. We're
And
just
then,
asking for your name and address,
finally,
mate, so we can check who
demand
you
is
are, and then you
issue
can be on your way.
Yeah, I'd like to carry
Name
out
and
your threat
address.
because you're not
No
getting
room left for
information.
negotiation.
Why is that such an issue for you?
Because I
refusal
know what you
comes
do.
just
If you
as
do my details, I've
And in
had it
that
done
instant,
on numerous
the decision
occasions
is made.
before, where
You're
you put
under
it into
arrest.
databases
No
and use it
dramatic
for
build-up.
application for court
No new
orders
evidence.
against me on
Just
silly,
escalation
laughable
reaching its
pretexts.
natural.
So what are you doing now?
What began with a
I'm
camera
videoing
ends
police.
in custody.
Okay, have you got our
And the
permission?
question that
No.
lingers is
Right.
simple. Was
So I
this
suggest you do give me your
enforcement,
details
or
now,
was
because
it
otherwise
escalation
we're
all
going to have to take you back to the station. All we're trying.
Even if I did not like I wrote them, wasn't effing and jeffing,
No,
so
I didn't say that at all.
it's
But
not
what I'm
antisocial.
saying- yeah, but
Exactly.
what I'm saying is, it's a person's interpretation of what's going on, isn't it?
And I
What
have it
you
on
may
video,
deem-
I
what
didn't
you
even
may-
ask them to
listen,
move.
What you may deem as antisocial may be very different to what someone else
And
deems as antisocial.
that
correct?
may be, that may be very different to court deem antisocial. So I'd like
Yeah.
you to carry out, your colleague's side to carry out
you'd
his
like to carry
threats,
out-
unlawfully arrest me in
Okay,
our
you'd like
argument
us to
in court.
Using the threat of arrest to push someone into accepting a legal position is a red flag because arrest powers have to be based on defined grounds, not used as leverage to settle a disagreement. Dismissing Potter's understanding while leaning on how members of the public felt only weakens their position further because antisocial behaviour isn't measured by opinion. When one officer then claims Potter told people to move without checking the footage that could confirm or disprove it, they're effectively choosing hearsay over evidence, which is the opposite of proper investigation.
Carry out our job. We're just asking for your name and address, mate, so we can check who you are, and then you can be on your way.
Yeah, I'd like to carry out your threat because you're not getting information.
Why is that such an issue for
Because
you?
I know what you do. If you my details, I've had it done on numerous occasions before, where you put it into databases and use it for application for court orders against me on silly, laughable pretexts.
So what are you doing now?
I'm videoing police.
Okay, have you got our permission?
No.
Right. So I suggest you do give me your details now, because otherwise we're going to have to take you back to the station. All we're trying to do is talk to you. We haven't been aggressive with you.
Well, that guy has.
He hasn't been aggressive, has he?
Well,
He's
yeah,
just-
he has.
He's just stated the law.
No, he hasn't just state law. He's grabbed my arm, not just stabbed or making a
But
formal
he's
complaint.
moved you away from a situation which could have escalated.
And he could have done that
Did he-
without
did he-
laying hands on me.
Okay, but did he grab hold of you and drag you down the road?
Yes.
Or did he place one arm on your arm and move you gently away?
All right, yes, he did do that. That is
Okay,
assault.
We're allowed to use reasonable force to make sure that no offences occur, make sure nothing happens.
There's no need for use of force.
Okay, I mean it's the lowest level of force possible, isn't it?
Yeah,
he
but
took
still
hold of your arm
unlawful.
and
I'm
asked you
making
to step one
complaint.
side.
Okay.
The idea that Potter needs police permission to record them doesn't hold up at all, because officers on duty in a public setting don't get a personal veto over being filmed. There's a clear difference between consent in a private context and public accountability when someone is exercising official powers. The attempt to downplay what happened by saying they were just talking falls apart the moment physical contact is introduced, because once an officer has put hands on someone, the interaction has already moved beyond casual conversation. Calling it the lowest level of force doesn't rescue it either. Force isn't judged by how minor it sounds, it's judged by whether it was necessary at all. If Potter wasn't aggressive, wasn't resisting, and hadn't been shown to be acting unlawfully, then even a so-called low level of force becomes hard to justify. This links perfectly to what I'm about to share. It's called Underwhat. Because whether people like it or not, the legal landscape in this country is changing. Powers are broad, enforcement is active, new laws are coming quickly, and most people only realise what they don't know when they're already in the situation. Underwhat is built so you understand the system you live under at all times. Inside the platform are over 100 fully interactive legal guides. Not just reading, you make decisions and see how those decisions affect your legal safety, escalation risk, and evidence position. StopBot is built directly into the platform, a policing-focused AI designed specifically around UK law. It breaks down powers and thresholds clearly, and in guide mode, it works like a teacher, expanding on the guides and reinforcing your understanding so you're not second-guessing yourself. There's also a daily UK policing newsfeed focused on real activity, incidents, operational shifts and crime, including exclusive deep dive articles breaking down police misconduct cases, upcoming legislation and what it all actually means. And then there are the protection tools, a live drone safety map with NOTAM awareness, a civil claim checker to assess potential liability, a police complaint generator, a SAR request builder and more rolling out. This isn't built around outrage. It's built because policing in the UK is at an all-time low and people need to stay informed, prepared and protected. It launches soon at an affordable monthly price. If you want to see it properly when it goes live, the Underwatch channel is linked down below in the description. Now let's get back to the video.
You're making this situation a lot more complicated and a lot more drawn out by not providing your details.
And had you just asked me to go, I'd happily go anywhere.
We have a duty of care to her,
yes,
as we do to you and every other member of society.
If you wanted me to go, if he wanted me to go, I'd happily comply.
Okay, but we've now asked you for your details, and I don't understand why you're being
aggressively demanded.
So where do you live at the moment?
No comment.
Is it in Suffolk or further afield?
No comment.
I mean, that's not even asking for your address, is it? That's just a county that you live in.
No, but I don't wish to tell you that.
That's fine, that's fine.
Because I'm sure...
I'm just trying to have a conversation with
I
you,
see,
okay?
thanks, okay. But no, you do with the information you get in those conversations, which is why I'm not answering your questions.
What do you think we do with the information?
Use the information as intelligence.
In what sense?
You put it on your files.
I'm happy to tell you my name. I don't really understand why it's such an issue for you to tell me yours.
Okay.
Blaming Potter for making it complicated overlooks that things only escalated once force was used without even asking him to move first. If he was willing to step aside, going straight to grabbing his arm skips a basic step and weakens any justification. The duty of care argument also falls short because that responsibility applies to Potter too, not just to complainants, and shouldn't be used to excuse escalation. Asking which county he lives in and calling it casual conversation also raises questions, as it looks more like probing for personal details than addressing any real concern. And comparing the officer giving his name to Potter, declining his own, ignores the difference. Officers are expected to identify themselves, while Potter has no obligation to provide personal information.
Even if that was true, I do dispute this allegation. I asked members of the public to move out of the way. Are you saying that would be antisocial behaviour?
I mean, if it's caused someone enough concern to ask police to come and have a word with you, then yes, I'd consider that antisocial.
I've been outside Ministry of Defence building in London. I've had less hassle than this. Headquarters in Whitehall.
Okay. I mean, again, the fact that you're saying that you've been to these places just raises my concerns even more. Okay.
Okay. I did get stopped by the police there. They didn't use Section 50. They didn't search me.
Did you give you their name?
Unlawfully detain or arrest me. No, I didn't give my name, but was asked for it. The difference between Ministry of Defence Police and you is that you threaten... Right, sorry, that's the wrong way of putting it. Say I might be arrested if I don't give my details. Yeah. They will let me not give my details and go on my way.
Like I say, it depends on the situation, doesn't it?
When Potter points out he's filmed in more sensitive locations without issue, dismissing that outright avoids engaging with the wider context he's raising. Experience like that can actually indicate familiarity with lawful boundaries, not the opposite, and treating it as a reason for increased suspicion flips that logic. Turning a neutral point into something negative risks creating a situation where anything said is interpreted as grounds for concern, which undermines the idea of an objective assessment. If previous lawful filming is used to heighten suspicion rather than reduce it, the threshold becomes inconsistent and harder to justify.
Right, I'm going to reiterate to you again, mate. We've had members of the public come up and say you're filming them without their permission, okay? That is deemed antisocial. People don't like being filmed without permission, yeah?
No, I don't.
No, listen to me. Listen to me. That's what you were doing, yeah? I've had members of the train staff, people who were with that girl who was in distress, and another member of the public come through, said you're filming them and it's causing them distress, yeah? Okay? That is antisocial, yeah?
No comments.
Okay, alright then. So under Section 50 of the Police Reform Act, you've been acting antisocial because I've had 3 separate members of the public say you're filming them without permission. Yeah, you're not filming the train station or anything in general, you're actually filming those people, right?
No comments.
Okay, so under Section 50 of the Police Reform Act, I'll require your name and address. If you do not give it to me, you can be arrested. All I'm asking for is your name and address. I'm not asking you to delete any footage, I'm asking you for your name and address, and that is all I'm asking you for.
No, thank you, not giving them.
Alright then, you're under arrest on section 50 of the police reform act. You don't have to say anything to make harm in defence.
Potter's own follow-up says a lot about what happened after the video ended. He says he made a formal complaint about PC Overton's conduct to the Professional Standards Department covering Norfolk and Suffolk, and that it was refused on the basis that he was being vexatious. That matters because it suggests the issue didn't stop at the platform or the arrest itself. He tried to challenge it through the official route and, according to him, didn't even get the complaint properly taken forward. Potter states that he was unlawfully arrested under Section 50 and then was later released with no further action. In other words, the arrest went all the way through custody and still ended with nothing being pursued. If the interaction starts with filming, escalates into a Section 50 arrest, and finishes with NFA, it makes the arrest look far more like a forceful response to non-compliance than a properly grounded use of power. The final arrest is built on the same weak premise the whole encounter rested on, treating filming as antisocial because some people didn't like it, then using refusal to give details as the trigger to make it stick. It wasn't evidence that carried this interaction to the police car, it was escalation. And when the whole thing ends with no further action and a complaint allegedly brushed aside, it leaves the officers looking less like they were enforcing the law and more like they forced an arrest they couldn't properly stand up after.